Mr. Simpokorwe from Northern Province. Next to him is Mr. Sakasha from Wapura Province. Next to me here is Mr. Katieche from Chinga, and I am from the Eastern Province. On my right, I have Mr. Mlowera from the Southern Province. Next to Mr. Mlowera is Mr. Mikosa, Dan Mikosa from Northwestern Province. And at the far right is Mr. Kawaya from the Copper Belt. Central Province has rushed back home. There is another engagement for him awaiting. Similarly, the chairman for Lusaka is not feeling so very well, and that's why he's not with us at this press briefing. Members of the press, today, Saturday, 16th November 2019, we, the 10 provincial chairpersons of the MMD that are behind Honorable Mutati, who until the recent High Court ruling was president of our party, have just concluded a consultative meeting on the way forward following the court judgment of 5th November 2019. As you might be aware, members of the press, after the judgment, which was not in our favor, we as a party have a number of options before us from which to pick on as a way of moving on. As a committed group of MMD members, we believe in democracy in whatever we do, and even in a situation as we find ourselves in, democratic means of decision making remain paramount. We shall move forward by whatever means that the majority of our members will guide us to take. We will not dictate what a few members think is the best way forward. We shall respect the views from majority members because that is what democracy demands. Right now, we are busy consulting members in all the 10 provinces on what route they think we must take so that as a party, we still remain relevant on the Zambian political scene. We are happy that so far the consultations are going very, very well. Our meeting here today has also ended well. We agree where we can and also disagree sometimes. Where and when we disagree, we move on to look for the best solutions. For us, therefore, it is all part of our democratic dispensation. The majority view takes precedence. To this end, members of the press, we wish to categorically rally behind the statement of our leader, Honorable Felix Mutati, who indicated that probably the best way forward is to find a political solution. All other measures are subordinate and auxiliary to the position highlighted by Honorable Felix Mutati. In conclusion, members of the press, allow me to urge our members to remain united, focused, and stand as one group. There will be a solution found to all this, and a uniform position will soon be announced by the members of the MMD who believe in our President, Mr. Honorable Mutati, who, even at this moment, is still undisputed leader. I thank you all. God bless you. Good evening. Yes, please.
As you speak as if the MMD is no longer in existence. Are you saying that the current confirmed president, Nevers Mumba, is not really a recognized MMD president? You only think that since there's already existing structures, you still believe that you have a way to go?
During the last press conference, of which I believe you were there, our chairperson, Mr. Gangwa, from the Central Province, categorically stated that we are going to follow a leader who is legitimately elected by the people of Zambia and not elected by the courts of law. Because the law has no feelings for anyone. It does not look at the face of anybody. the best law and the best court are the people themselves.
I take it that you still don't like Dr. Nevers Mumba.
I don't know what you mean, not liking him. But you and I are Zambians just like him. But we are saying legitimately elected. Legitimately elected.
Would you recognize Dr. Nevers Mumba as your president in the MMD?
If he were to be elected legitimately, yes.
As we stand now, is he still your president or not?
He is not legitimately elected. Yes.
Considering Mr. Mutati's declaration that he's not going to appeal, and Mr. Nakachinda proceeded to appeal against the court judgment, which side are you on as movement for multi-party democracy?
I think I did state in my position here that we rally behind the position of the leader of the party, then before he was removed by the courts of law, and that is Honorable Felix Mutati.
So are you
yes,
going
Mr. Nakachinda appealed, and that was one of the options that was there.
So do you still pursue the court, or you are going to go otherwise?
The court process is already in court. It will continue.
Okay, for clarity's sake,
Yes, yes.
Mr. Mutati said he's not going to appeal. Mr. Nakachinda went ahead to appeal. So, where are we? Which direction are we following now?
As at now, we are still consulting the people who are our members countrywide. Then at the end of it all, you will still be invited as members of the press to give you the clear way forward. For now, consultations are still going on. And that's why all of us traveled all over the country to come and meet here in Lusaka for a consultative meeting, of which we have to go back and consult our structures further before a clear position can be given to the nation through you members of the press.
Are you for the idea of the appeal or against?
As at now, I can neither deny nor say yes. But the fact remains that issue is in court. The fact still remains that Mr. Mutati said he was not going to appeal, and that's why the consultations have to continue.
Clarity again. Which way are we going? Appeal or against the appeal?
Let me put it clear. Mr. Mutati said he was not going to appeal.
And Mr. Nakachinda
says we are going to appeal.
And he has done that.
And he has done that.
So which way are we going? Not against or with the appeal?
We are neither. But for now,
we want
consulting.
We want one direct answer. With or without?
We are consulting. That's the direct answer I can give.
So
we are consulting.
So do we follow both camps?
If you can. But for us, we are still consulting.
Okay, as final. With or without?
I think the question that my colleague is trying to ask is, there are two statements. One that came from your leader, Honorable Felix Mutati,
yes,
and another one that came from your former National Secretary, Honorable Nakachinda. So the question that he's trying to ask is, as the membership, are you in support of what was said by Honorable Nakachinda
or Mr. Nakachinda?
By Honorable Felix Mutati?
If I go back to the statement that I just read to honorable members of the press, I said, as a committed group of MMD members, we believe in democracy in whatever we do, and even in a situation as we find ourselves in, democratic means of decision making remain paramount. Meaning, the people have to come in, because the people are the best court. And the people are the best court to give a decision.
And the court is supreme.
The court is supreme in terms of law. But the people are the ones who are in charge of this destiny. Because as far as I know, no party president in the MMD has ever been elected or appointed by the courts of law.
My last question. Are you in support of Dr. Nevers Mumba? Are you in support of Mr. Rafael Nakachinda's appeal? Are you in support of Mr. Felix Mutati's not appealing decision? Which one?
First of all,
the three?
Dr. Nevers Mumba.
Pick one.
No, you have given me three.
Pick one.
On Dr. Nevers Mumba, he is not legitimately elected. If you clearly follow his statements so far, he said his term of office was ending in 2017. This is 2019, 2 years down the line. Can he still remain leader of the party? Certainly not. But there he is. Immediately he left the courts, the courtroom. He pronounced that he was going to remain there for the next 5 years. Now, where does he get that mandate from?
Nevers Mumba out.
Nevers Mumba out.
Felix Mutati and Nakachinda.
Felix Mutati, for now, is not leader of the party MMT because the courts declared him null and void. All right? But we have to consult with him. He has to consult us. He has to consult the people. And we are the best people, best on the ground to consult and see which way forward. Mr. Nakachinda, yes, he appealed. Probably what it is that after the courts had declared that ruling, we met as members of the MMD, this provincial team you see here. We met together and looked at the options. And the court appeal was one of the options that we looked at.
Basically, you are against the decision made by Mr. Mutati not to appeal.
Maybe I take it from your words.
So, in short, you are adopting my words.
As things stand, according to the courts of law, Honorable Felix Mutati remains expelled from the MMD. How do you reconcile those records?
Which records now? Of expulsion?
Yes.
Right now, Honorable Mutati has no party, according to the courts of law. But on the ground, Honorable Mutati has all the people. If you were at the courts of law that day, you saw it for yourself. What happened? The person who looked to have won didn't look like he won at all. And yet the person who looked to have lost is the one who was mobbed up by the crowd. That told you a good story, that Felix Mutati has the people. Nevers Mumba has won the party, but it's an empty shell.
If you were to go ahead and, following what is happening with the court appeal, how does it affect the chances of MMD contesting the 2021 with Mutati or with Nevers Mumba? How does the court appeal affect the 2021 aspirations?
Then it means we shall go to the second option,
Which is?
which is consulting the people as to where we go.
Okay, maybe I'm hoping this is my last question. How many provinces are you representing as chairpersons?
10 provinces.
And if we count, you are less than 10.
Yeah, we are less than 10. I think I explained that one.
For the record?
Chairman Kangwa rushed back to Kabul because he has another engagement early tomorrow morning. And Chairman Chirufya for Lusaka province, he's not feeling well, so he was not with us. Hence, the people you are seeing in front of you here. So we are right now 8 of us. 2 are not here.
For my camera's record, your name and position?
My name is Jacob Mwanza, the provincial chairman for Eastern Province.
I seek clarity on which direction this group is taking. Are you going to appeal against Nevers Mumba's declaration as MMD president? Because from what I'm seeing, there are 3 groups. There's the consulting the people, there's already appealed, and there's the Nevers Mumba group. Where are you?
Nevers Mumba is out in this option.
So where are you?
He is not legitimately elected. He has imposed himself that he's going to remain there for the next 5 years, which is very, very undemocratic. Even at the time we were fighting to go to the convention in 2016, it was because of the same press that used to show that was going to go to the convention in 2017. And we explained to him that actually the constitution of the MMD is in tandem with the constitution of the land, where every 5 years Zambia has to go to a general election. Similarly, every 5 years, our political party, the MMD, has to go to a convention so that you re-energize the members and the leadership so that you go together for these elections. But he was insisting that no, for me it is 2017. Now we are saying 2017 is far gone. But the court gave him that chance to lead the party. And we are saying, no, we cannot follow someone who is not legitimately elected.
So basically
And unless we go to the convention, yes, we'll follow him. But for as long as he's not elected by the people, forget about it.
So are you with Nakachinda or Mutati?
We are with Mutati.
Mutati. Not against the not with the appeal.
We are with Mutati. This group you are seeing here, we are with Mutati.
Maybe just a quick one. Nevers Mumba has mentioned about renegotiating or looking
Alliance.
at pacts with the ruling patriotic front. What's your reaction? He wants to engage the PF so that they look.
Because the Felix Mutati left Ms. Namugala and Mr. Nakachinda in Parliament on the basis of the Felix Mutati faction.
A leader should be inspiring. A leader should not be fighting all the time, because in the end you let the people become fatigued. Now, from the time the courts pronounced Nevers Mumba as president of the MFT, how many statements has he issued? Several of them. That shows you that he is not a leader. How many statements has Mutati issued so far? Only one, that was not going to appear. So you can distinguish between the two, who is a real leader and who is just masquerading as a leader.
As we speak, records at the Registrar of Societies have been changed, and Nevers Mumba and his team are current people that are appearing as office bearers. You standing on the side of Mutati, if Mumba takes a step to expel you as supporting Honorable Mutati, who is no longer part of the MMD, are you ready to take that stance to leave the part of the MMD?
We are ready.
What's your next way forward?
Consultation with the people.
In terms of forming a new political party?
We will come to the bridge when we reach there. For now, we are still consulting.
Okay. Yes. Concluding remarks.
In conclusion, I think I should thank you, members of the press, for having taken up your time to be with us at this press briefing. We will still soldier on. That's what democracy is all about. We should not kill democracy in this country, because MMD is known to be a mother of democracy. Whether someone is masquerading or not, but the truth will one day come out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.